I don't think it's any secret. I know the job. The job of mayor. The mayor must be accessible and responsive, offer leadership, and direct the governance of the municipal mandate. The mayor is also responsible for the free and open flow of all information concerning city matters to and from the public. The mayor coordinates and encourages input from all stakeholders prior to setting new policy. The mayor promotes and conciliates prospects and opportunities aimed at improving the health and prosperity of all. The mayor must show fairness, openness, and willingness. The mayor and council shall promote their community at every opportunity. I know the job, you choose the leader. I'm currently focused on employment opportunities in this community, business incentives, sports and recreational, youth initiatives, education outreach, bridging with senior levels of government, which is so mandatory and important these days, and in marketing our community. My goal for us all is a safer, cleaner, healthier community. With teamwork and community effort, I believe it is attainable. Vote for Bob Baird for mayor and open government. I thank you very much.
In fairness to the nature of the candidacies, current incumbent mayor, would you like to do your closing remarks now? And then we'll work down the table starting with one.
Thank you for taking time out of your Sunday. Thank you for taking time out of your Sunday to attend this forum. I would like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting and Rob Miller for moderating what I think is an important component of any municipal election. Every voter should hear what the candidates stand for, what they envision through their term, and what benefit they can bring to your community. We are working to secure Merritt's future, and in order to keep this goal on track, we'll take a leader like myself that has the vision, the commitment, and the knowledge to stay the course. At every event, fundraiser, conference, and workshop that I've attended in the past 3 years, I have always presented Merritt in a positive I've always represented the city in a positive, respectful manner. I have also developed a very good relationship with all the other levels of government. To gain the biggest benefit of your mayor and council, for them to do their best job, they need time, and 3 years is not enough. My positive attitude, my openness, and my connection with the majority of this community make me your best choice. So please get out and vote, either at the Vance polls on November 9th and 16th, or at the regular voting day of November 19th. Thank you for your time.
Thanks to both of the mayoralty candidates, and yes, more, anticipate away. You're up.
Once again, I would like to thank all of those that have come out tonight. It's been a bit of a marathon for those that have been here for more than one session this afternoon, so good on you for being here. What is the biggest complaint that you hear about City Hall from the people as you visit with your friends in the coffee shops or the restaurants or the pubs or their living rooms? It's always the same. My taxes are too high. You don't hear people complaining about the parks looking nice or flower beds looking great. You don't hear people breaking because their garbage got picked up or the streets got swept. And you'll never complain that we have good drinking water coming from our taps and that the sewer system works. Folks, I'm not trying to belittle you, the electorate, at all. I'm trying to make a point. We as a community of approximately 7,700 people have tremendous facilities. We have a great pool complex, an arena, a curling rink, great parks, fire and police protection, and a wonderful little civic center in our town. awful lot for a community of 7,000 people. We are the most fortunate, but with that, there's a price, and the price is our property taxes. Would I like my taxes to be lower? Absolutely. Is there a way of getting our property taxes lower? I believe there are some ways. We can take a look at the way we deliver services in our community and see if there's a way of reducing our costs. But the most effective way that we will keep our taxes in check is to grow our community. And we want to grow our community in a positive way. We want to create opportunities for businesses to come into our town. And to do that, we're going to have to work together as a team, as a council team, where we have a welcoming them, where we say to business, we want you here, and we provide a platform that people want to come to. Do we want to see manufacturing jobs or high-tech jobs? Absolutely. To do that, we have to make sure that we have the power. This was addressed here recently, as recently as about a year and a half ago. We have to hold hydros and BC Transmission's feet to the fire to ensure that we get the power that we need for our community. There's nothing wrong with foreign investment in our community. Why? Because it's going to provide jobs. I look around the room tonight and I see maybe 2 people in the 25 to 40-year-old demographic. That's a sad commentary. You know why? Because all those young people are moving away. We want a community where our young people can stay here and where our grandchildren can grow up here. I think we need to take a serious look at the opportunity that is being presented to the municipality with respect to the electrical cogen facility that's coming to town. Okay, I'm just about done. That facility will provide power dependence for our community. I will work for you to generate the right environment for our young people to stay and for business to come to Merritt. I will work for you and spend your money, your tax dollars wisely to ensure that our living environment does not suffer in the process. Thank you. My name is Norm Brigden. I look forward to your vote on November 19th.
There are many things I feel could have been researched, but the challenge now is to make those decisions work for the betterment of Merritt. I have always liked the challenge, and I am prepared to do my best for Merritt. I envision Merritt as a vibrant and sustainable community. I have had 11 years' experience on council, and I am willing to share that knowledge with other members of council in getting to know how council works. We are a team and want to do what is best for the citizens of Merritt. Merritt is not isolated from the rest of the world, and council will need to find ways to do things with less tax dollars. I ask for your support on November the 19th, and I thank and wish every fellow candidate good luck.
Tomorrow is Halloween, so I thought I'd tell you a couple of scary stories. When my wife left me 3 years ago, she moved back to Victoria and ended up buying an apartment in a 30-year-old strata complex there. This spring, the Strata Council advised the owners that in response to complaints about water leaking in through the ceiling tiles, they had hired an engineering firm. The engineering firm has come back and told them they need to replace the roof and the walls of that building. And the Strata Council is telling them they are looking at a special one-time assessment, somewhere between 20 and 40% of the cost of their units. That's partly because, as
Strata Council never thought about putting any reserve funds away, even though the building's been there 30 years. My wife and most of the seniors in that place have no idea how they're going to fund them. They can't sell the units because who's going to buy into a building which is having its walls and roofs redone, which is got an unknown cost of doing that. They can't remortgage their units because the bank's got the same problem. How do I value those units? It's a very scary situation. My mother's is not quite as scary, so doesn't quite fit Halloween, but the last 5 weekends she's had no heat in the retirement home she lives in. Apparently the new owners decided 2 or 3 years ago the previous owners were spending way too much money on repairs and maintenance, and so they cut back repairs and maintenance. Now these owners are looking at a far bigger cost to actually replace the boilers that make the heat run. It's the old story, if you don't keep up with your repairs and maintenance, it'll cost you big in the long run. That's the moral of the second story. The moral of the first story is we need to think about our assets. Most of our water and sewer system was built in the 60s. It has a 50-year useful life. Sometime this decade, we've got to replace most of our water and sewer pipes in this town. Unlike the Strata Council, we have some money put away, but I'm far from convinced we have enough put away. So as Norm says, nobody likes high property taxes, but nobody likes suddenly walking up one morning and discovering that your strata assessment, or in our case the strata, the property taxes are going to be twice what they were last year because we need to fund the cost of replacing our sewer and water. So council needs to look very carefully over the next few years at what the costs of maintaining our systems are and what we can afford to do and how we fund that. I believe fiscally responsible doesn't always mean low taxes, it means looking after your assets wisely. And if you want a County Council, if you want a County Scotland Council, please vote for Alistair Murdoch.
Thank you again for coming. Thank you to NVIT for the use of this beautiful facility. I know we're all very happy to be able to have a facility like this in our city. I think we do need to have a strong council, a council that's willing to work cohesively. My experience in leadership and working with large budgets, both in the private and public sector, gives me the confidence to make sure that we have a responsible fiscal management plan for the city of Merritt. I am committed to working cooperatively with staff and council to make smart decisions. We need a council that understands and respects the diversity of its citizens, and I think my background gives me a broad perspective and a respect for those cultures. I think we need a councillor that's willing to move forward with the community plan. Those plans can't sit on the shelf and gather dust. I want to be part of the council that makes those positive changes. We do need to continue to lobby both the federal and provincial governments for funding opportunities to ease the tax burden. We need to encourage economic development to ease the tax burden. I know that Merritt is admired by other communities around the province. I've seen that through these last 3 years. We just can't take that for granted. We need to continue to work to keep our city vibrant and a tourism mecca. My intention is to work hard to make this an even better city than it is today. So if you see a bright future for the city of Merritt, I ask for your support on November 19th.
Again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. And I'm looking for your support on the 19th. I'm looking to continue my 3 years. I just want to make one thing clear. The debt we've talked about, the $7 million that's been thrown around, that just didn't happen in 3 years. That's been brought up from other councils from the past. And it's actually not 7, it's 6.4. Most of that is secured debt. That comes in DCCs, comes in strategic planning and costs that are coming back. But we also have assets. With what you own in this community and what we have in the bank, and this is on the city page, you have $8.7 million sitting in the bank. That's what you have right now. As a councillor, I have always thought of the community before we make a move. I'm for the future, but but I don't forget the past. I'm all about the dollar, I'm all about teamwork, I'm all about getting to the point, I'm all about discussion. And I would like to continue to move forward in this community and be part of what's coming, because it's an exciting time. There are things that are going to happen. We are growing. Every time you look around, we are growing. There are people that are coming here with incredible ideas. We need to foster those people, and we need to get people involved. So I'm looking for your support to continue with that. And if I don't, I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity for representing you for the 3 years. It's been a great honor, and I've been enjoying representing the city that I really enjoy living in. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank the Chamber and Mr. Miller for being here tonight to moderate, and I'd especially like to thank all of you for coming. Many good questions and concerns that were brought up tonight, and I'm sure there's a lot more questions out there that didn't get answered. So I'm asking you to please give me a call or any other candidate a call and ask your questions. Find out the answers you're looking for. There's been a lot of good information given to you tonight. But also keep in mind, this has only been a 3 or a 4 hour forum. There's a lot more to be said, a lot more to be done. Many of you out there don't know who I am, and I encourage you to speak to someone who does know who I am. I asked you to earlier think about the 4 things that I thought made a good counselor. I asked you to think about who at this table would be a good team player, who would be a hard worker, who would have an open mind, and who would be approachable. I believe I'm all 4 of those things, and as I stated, I believe talk to somebody who really knows me and find out if I'm telling the truth or not. On November 19th, we'll be making a choice as to who will represent you for the next 3 years. I've thoroughly enjoyed the last 3 years of my term, and as Councillor Getz said, if I do return to office, I'll work as hard or harder than I have before. If I don't, it has been a wonderful experience that I will never forget. I have learned a lot about how the city runs. I've learned a lot about where our tax dollars go, which seems to be the biggest subject of the evening. So please put an X beside Dave Baker on the 19th. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Miller as our moderator, and you ladies and gentlemen for taking time out to come and take an interest. I wish more did. Listening to the present council tonight, I hear a lot of optimism, and I would like to be a believer. With close to a 0 growth rate over the last 10 years, and an escalating property tax rate, I'm not sure how much more optimism we can afford. Our youth is leaving town. This is a common problem in all rural communities. It's not just Merritt. They migrate to the large urban centers. They did it when I was a kid, and they're still doing it. They may come back in the future because they haven't found anything better. But that will continue to happen. As a senior center, our province has sort of handicapped us because of the health system here. Seniors need a strong health center, and they will go to centers like Kelowna, Kamloops, and major centers around the Lower Mainland. They've got to have that health system to rely on, and the province has taken that away from us. Anyway, being new to municipal politics, I know I have a lot to learn. You cannot keep spending large sums of money we do not have, or borrowing money simply because you can increase the property taxes. Changing the business areas of the city to be more like large metropolitan centers will not improve the day-to-day life for local residents. But spending huge sums of money on grandeur projects will increase the tax rate, and we're already getting near the top of that list. Merritt needs leadership that will be fiscally responsible to the overall taxpayers, not just to take care of special interest groups. Local items that need attention like upgrading infrastructure and putting in sidewalks where there is none should take a priority over cosmetic improvements. In November of 2000, the Daily News in Kamloops printed a letter titled, "Power Does Not Beget Wisdom." In this article, they believe it came from a speech given by Admiral Ben Morrell of the U.S. Navy. It quotes, "The person who uses political power to force others to conform to their ideas seems inevitable to become corrupted by the power they hold." HST is a prime example of that. In due course, they come to believe that power and wisdom are one of the same, and since they have the power, they must have the wisdom. Nothing could be farther from the truth. At this point, they begin to lose the ability to distinguish between what is morally right and what is politically expedient. Maybe all appointed and elected officials should keep a copy of this speech on their desk as a reality check. In closing, I cannot change what has taken place or what is already taking place, as the increase in the mill rate in the coming year will reflect. But if I am lucky enough and to be elected, I promise to do my utmost to bring back some fiscal responsibility to the operation of the City of Merritt. With that, I ask you all to please vote on November 19th. Please vote for change and please vote for me. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce, the media, the NVIT for the opportunity to present ourselves here. But I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Miller. How about a hand for all the work he's done? It's got to be one tough job. I have no personal interest in any business in Merritt. The only real estate holdings that I have is our own home. The decisions I will make will be the good for the citizens, not for my personal. In the last 3 hours, you've had a chance to hear our views, hopes, and challenges that the city has. Some issues will be harder to solve than others, but we have to solve them. The time that I've spent on all the city committees has given me great insight into the day-to-day challenges that face us. With this experience, I believe I can make the right decisions on council. I've stated my reasons for running for council. I know that I can contribute to making Merritt a better place. I'm asking for your support on November the 19th. If elected, I will be available at all times. As your city councilor, I promise to be accessible, willing to listen, and act upon your concerns. Good luck to all the candidates. I know that I can work with you. Congratulations to all the candidates for running, and I hope I can get your votes. Jack Bowles. Thank you.
Being last is a bad thing.
Well, thanks for all coming out, everybody. I don't know what to say anymore, because I've said it all through this last half hour. You probably notice I'm pretty aggressive. I might ruffle some feathers, but I've always been a person that will get it done. If I say something, I'm going to go after it, and I question everything. And there's got to be another way, and that's what my whole life's been about in the business that I've picked. Get it done. That's all. We don't care what it costs, but we can't do that in the city. But I'm a new guy, so there's not much I can say anything more, but vote for me. I'll be out there doing something down the street from your place, like maybe plugging up a window that got broken from a kid that the cops didn't see. So, you know, that could be me helping you out. So remember that. Thanks.
Well, that concludes the formal portion. I'm sure all of our candidates can be available for your questions.